Hey there. Hi. I am so excited to be talking to you today. I hope you've been enjoying the last little bit and learning about what we do as coaches and sort of how we use this platform to reach our own goals and dreams and plan for our vision. So I wanted to come today and talk to you a little bit about some common misconceptions or maybe answer some questions you might have. So my name is Rebecca Johnson. I've been a coach for about 3 years, a little over 3 years. And I won't go too much into my story so this doesn't get too long, but my life is completely different than when I started coaching. When I started, I worked full time and I had about 40 or 50 pounds to lose and had a 10-month-old daughter. So I wasn't exactly at a place where I was looking for coaching specifically, but I was. And if you go and read, I posted under Blair's video some of my vision. You can read a little bit more of my story, but I was just desperately looking for something different, something more out of life. I was busy, right? I said I worked full time. I was a new mom and I was a little bit lost. I didn't really know who I was at the time. But I just had this passion and this desire to do something and provide something more for my family. So that's how I got into coaching. And one of the first questions I get a lot is, I'm not a health and fitness expert, or I have weight to lose myself. Like I couldn't possibly be a coach. And I want to say that I'm living proof. There's lots of us on this team that are coaches that are proof of this. But you don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to be an expert. And you certainly do not have to be at your most ideal weight or health, whatever your goal is. You don't have to be there yet. In fact, I found for myself, because I was on a journey myself, because I was on this journey to lose weight after having my daughter and to get who I was back, a little bit of myself, just by sharing that with my followers, with my friends, with my family, with new people I had met, I was reaching those people who were also feeling lost and, wanting to lose weight or wanting to gain energy or get healthier or whatever it was. Just by sharing my story and my own journey, I was able to connect with them and relate, and they related to me and wanted to join me on this journey. And so it became sort of, let's do this together. I'm not the expert. I have this awesome resource and these amazing programs and tools and meal plans and nutrition guides and Shakeology, and I have all this awesome stuff that I know works because I did it. And now I get to share it with you, and I get to walk alongside you and help you do it too. So that's really where my coaching perspective comes from and where my success has come from. Yes, I've learned more about nutrition and fitness and stuff along the way, but I most certainly am still not an expert, and I definitely didn't start out as one. If you have the passion to help others and you have the passion to really improve your own self, you're going to be successful as a coach. You just have to have that heart and willingness to share what you're doing, and no doubt you will inspire others through your story. People connect to stories and connect to real life, right? You don't have to be perfect to connect with someone. In fact, sometimes that's harder to connect with. When you're real, you'll reach people and you'll be successful. And the little details, those other things, you learn and you grow with us, and you learn from us who have been coaching for longer. And that's the cool thing. We work so closely together on our team, so you'll never feel alone either. So another question I get a lot is, I'm so busy, I don't have time for this. And I just want to go back to my story briefly and remind you that I started when I was working full time. I worked at 6 a.m. I had a long commute. I had a baby, and I was working on my own journey. And so I really found we have 4 main things. We call them the 4 vital behaviors. And if you accomplish those 4 things in any given day, you're going to each day move your business forward. And you start to see this compound effect as your business starts to grow. So when I started, I used to work in the cracks during the day. Like I might, take my lunch and answer some messages or reach out to people or check in with my challengers, my clients during my lunch break. And then after work, I might, do a little bit of like 20 or 30 minutes here or there. And then after my daughter went to bed, I would spend sometimes up to an hour really doing trainings or, again, reaching out to people. You would learn all about the 4 vital behaviors during our training, but I really spent an hour max as a focused time, and sometimes other times here and there, and I made it work, but I was focused and determined to do it. So if you have, if you make it a priority in your life, you will make the time for it, not find the time. We all have the same amount of time in our day. We all have obligations. Some of us have families, some of us have jobs, some of us have both, some of us have, other extracurricular things that we do, but if you're serious about your dreams and you can see this platform as your way to bigger and better and your way to your dream life, like, you will make the time happen. And it is so fun and actually kind of addicting to like get into it and to start helping people. And when you get these messages that people have lost weight and feeling better than they ever have, like, oh, it's so rewarding. And that hour you put in just becomes so worth it. And at the beginning, it's not going to be trading $1 for an hour like you would in a traditional job. You're going to start, building your business, but the more you build it, the more return you get for your time, if that makes sense. So, you have the time. It's just a matter of if you want to set the time aside and if you want to make the time to really dig in and to make your dreams happen. And it can happen in a short amount of time, and it can happen quickly. It just depends on you and if you're teachable and if you are passionate and ready to jump in. Okay, here's one that's a good one. I've gotten this before. I actually don't get this as often, but some coaches do, so I want to touch on it. And some people ask, is it a pyramid scheme? And so first the question would be, well, what is a pyramid scheme? I think a lot of people have a misconception about that. Pyramid schemes are actually illegal, true pyramid schemes. But if you think about the design or what a pyramid looks like, right? It's a triangle. And a lot of people think, well, a pyramid scheme means that you can't, if I enroll with somebody, if I, start coaching, I can never earn what they make. Like, that's the misconception. Well, let's look at a traditional business. If you think about a traditional business, there's one person that's a CEO. Let's think about Amazon. There's a CEO, right? And he makes a ton of money. And then he has chief officers, and he has higher management, and he has middle management. And then there's, regional warehouses, and there's warehouse workers and stockers and people who drive now to deliver packages. And there's all these people who work for Amazon, right? Now, the person who's delivering your packages or the person who's working in the warehouse is not making what middle management is making, and definitely not making what the CEO is making. And they can never earn what the CEO or these upper management are making unless they learn and get the skills and education and the opportunity to advance their careers. But most people are going to stay in that middle and never out earn the person who hired them, who brought them into the company, right? Now, with Beachbody, this is not true at all. With coaching, you are the deciding factor of how much you earn. I will hope to, thank you, sign up, become a coach, and out-earn me, out-earn Blair, out-earn Melody, out-earn Andrea, who co-founded Misfit Republic. It's up to you to decide how big you want your business to be, and there's nothing that's holding you back. And I think we were at a local event last week, and the passion and the heart that coaches have, and it was said, and I mean, this is true over and over again, but it was said again, like, we want others to succeed, because if we're succeeding, we're helping people end the trend of obesity. If we're succeeding as coaches, we're helping people live a better life. So I don't want another coach to fail. I want that coach to succeed, because that means we're helping more people. I can't help everybody as much as I would like to. I don't have the resources or the time to help everybody in this world, but together as coaches, we can link arms and make a difference in this world. And so any knowledge that I have, any training, any sort of tips that I can give, we freely share. We want our coaches to succeed. So if you take what we share and the training that we provide and you run with it and out earn us, good for you. Like, that's amazing. And you're going to help so many people through your passion and your story. And the more you earn in this business just means the more people you're helping. And that's just such an amazing business model that I stand 100% behind. Like, it is incredible. to help people and get compensated for it. And rant, woo! Okay. The other cool thing, and I'm going to wrap this up, but another really cool thing about being a coach is that, hold on, I'm doing a video, honey. The other cool, you get to work from home. Just a minute. Okay, just a minute, honey. Real life right there. I was trying to hide from them, but you can't hide from them, can you? I love working from home. I love my children. I came from teaching and from, I worked in our central office and ran a division, and it was like so serious all the time. And so like, oh my gosh, that used to mortify me, like if I was ever interrupted. And now I'm like, okay, well, hey, I'm having a business meeting at home in my jammies. Okay, cool. You don't have to stock products as a coach, which means you're never on the hook to you don't have to buy a bunch of stuff and hope that someone will want to use it or want it. You don't stock anything. You are not obligated to, there's no minimums or maximums of things you have to do in a month. We have, which we'll touch on later about how we earn, but there are structures if you help a certain number of people, there are rewards and benefits and things like that, but there's no minimum of what you have to do or else you're kicked out as a coach or anything like that. And I think the coolest thing is that there's no product that you have to stock and have space for and have money for and all that stuff. Nothing like that. It's all about working on yourself and then helping other people do the same. So I hear my children having a little battle over a notebook, so I am going to go tend to that now. But if you have any other questions or if anything I've said raised any questions, go ahead and post them below. And I can't wait to welcome you guys to the team.